Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is MASYITAH binti Muhammad YACOB. My matric number is 1200786. So I will explain about the role of Shariah Advisory Council. So firstly, I will explain about the background of Shariah Advisory Council. The Shariah Advisory Council of Bank Negara Malaysia (SAC) was established in May 1997 as the highest Shariah authority in Islamic finance in Malaysia. The SAC is intended as the reference body and advisor to Bank Negara Malaysia on Shariah matters. The SAC has been given the authority for the ascertainment of Islamic law for the purpose of Islamic banking business, takaful business, Islamic financial business, Islamic development financial business, or any other business which is based on Shariah principle and is supervised and regulated by Bank Negara Malaysia. The SAC is comprised of prominent Shariah scholars, jurists, and market practitioners. Members of the SAC are qualified individuals and have vast experience in banking, finance, economics, law and application of Shariah, particularly in the areas of Islamic economics and finance. Next, the role of Shariah Advisory Council. There is 4 main roles of Shariah Advisory Council. The first one is to advise on Islamic banking and takaful products. The Shariah Advisory Council will review the validity of conventional instruments practiced by banking and takaful institutions based on a Shariah perspective. The study focuses on the structure, mechanism and use of such instruments, whether they are principles that are contradict with Shariah principle or not. Subsequently, Islamic banking institutions will formulate and develop new Shariah compliant instruments as advised by the Shariah Advisory Council. Next is to provide advice in the operation of takaful. Among their duties is to advise and monitor the handling of takaful funds so that they are invested in instruments that are permitted by Shariah only. Thus, if there is any payment to an individual in need, the money is from a halal source and not generated from investment that contain element of riba or any element that is forbidden in Islam. Role number 3 is to advise the Board of Directors of financial institutions. One of the main functions of the Shariah Advisory Council is to advise financial institutions such as commercial bank that wish to issue a new banking product, whether it complies with Shariah requirement or not. And role number 4 is to certify Shariah compliant manuals. In providing a structured reference source to determine whether a banking product passes the Shariah compliant requirement or not, the SAC will validate a manual that has been produced through discussion between members of the Shariah Advisory Council. And next is list Shariah compliant securities, verify the relevant documents, assist the parties concerned on Shariah matters, to give a written Shariah view, advise on Shariah audits, and the last one is to give advice on the payment of zakat. Next, the provision relating to the role of SAC in Central Bank of Malaysia Act 2009. In Section 55, Subsection 1, the bank shall consult the Shariah Advisory Council on any matter relating to the Islamic financial business and for the purpose of carrying out its function or conducting its business or affairs under this Act or any other written law in accordance with the Shariah, which requires the ascertainment of Islamic law by the Shariah Advisory Council. In subsection 2, any Islamic financial institution in respect of its Islamic financial business may refer for a ruling or seek the advice of the Sharia Advisory Council on the operation of its business in order to ascertain that it does not involve any element which is inconsistent with the Sharia. And the role of Sharia Advisory Council in consulting bank and any Islamic financial institution in any matter related to Islamic financial business and for the purpose of carrying out its function under this Act or any written law that is in accordance with Sharia law that require ascertainment of Islamic law by SAC. Next, in section 56, subsection 1, where in any proceeding relating to Islamic financial business before any court or arbitrator, any question arises concerning a Sharia matter, the court or the arbitrator, as the case may be, shall take into consideration any published rulings of the Sharia Advisory Council or refer such question to the Sharia Advisory Council for its ruling. Subsection 2. Any request for advice or a ruling of the Sharia Advisory Council under this Act or any other law shall be submitted to the Secretariat. When there is a case relating to submit financial business and any question arises pertaining to Sharia matter, the court or the arbitrator shall take into consideration any published ruling of SSC or refer such question to SSC for a ruling. Any request for advice should be submitted to the Secretariat. In section 57, any ruling made by the Sharia Advisory Council pursuant to a reference made under this part shall be binding on the Islamic financial institution under section 55 and the court or arbitrator making a reference under section 56. Stating about the effect of the Sharia rulings, that any ruling by SAC under this part shall be binding on the Islamic financial institution. Next, in section 58, where the ruling given by a Sharia body or committee constituted in Malaysia by an Islamic financial institution is different from ruling given by the Sharia Advisory Council. The ruling of the Sharia Advisory Council shall prevail. When there is inconsistency of ruling between any Sharia body or committee of Islamic financial institution SAC shall prevail.
Okay, my name is Hanis Safia binti AZAHARI. My matrix number 1200813. Next, I will explain about the differences between Islamic banking and conventional banking system. First difference between Islamic banking and conventional banking is from principle. For Islamic banking, they are follow principle of Shariah given by Allah to perform operation and activities, while conventional, they are follow man-made principle to perform their operation and activities. Okay, the next one is source of earning. For Islamic banking, their main profit is from service charge and consultancy fee is their main source of Islamic bank profits. Okay, profit is variable which may be negative in case of loss. That means that if the borrower getting lost, their profit might be negative. Okay, for conventional banking, their main source of income is from interest. They might charge on different type of interest. Difference between interest charged from borrowers and paid to depositors, which means the bank, it assures predetermined rate of interest. The third one is there are difference from risk sharing, which is Islamic banking risk is shared among borrower, lender and bank, while conventional banking, their risk is fully transferred to other. And then there are difference from profit maximization. For Islamic banking, it aims at maximizing the profit but subject to principle of Shariah, which means they need to follow the principle of Shariah in order to get the profit. Okay, next, for conventional banking, it aims at maximizing the profit without any restriction, even at the cost of stakeholder. That means that even you get the money from gamble, then it's allowed in conventional banking if they bring profit to them. Next, there are difference from objective. For Islamic banking, their objective is to work as a trading concern to generate its income. That means that if we give our money to the Islamic banking, they will help us to generate our income to be more. Okay, for conventional banking, their objective is to generate income as financial intermediary. Its prime goal is the maximization of shareholders' value at any cost. Last one is there are difference from nature of earning. For Islamic banking, income of Islamic bank varies depending upon business borrower and environment. It may be negative in case of loss, while for conventional banking, income of conventional bank is constant even if business borrowers suffer from loss because it charges fixed rate of interest irrespective of profit value. In a conventional banking system, the operator, which is bank or finance institution, they will promise a fixed return to the customer as an investor. This fixed return is clearly riba and haram in Islamic finance. However, Islamic banking also cannot escape from some shortcomings and weaknesses. Among the main disadvantages of Islamic banking is that there are financial institutions or banks that are imposed administrative or account management charge on the product or services offered. This charge sometimes too high and almost equal to the charge imposed by conventional banking product and services. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.